he feels that this might be his last opportunity, and Orlando Salido, as we said, is the action fighter in boxing of the moment.
These are amazing. These are not just amazing boxing careers, guys. These are amazing lives. You know, to go through what these guys have gone through, to be where they are. And they're not rich. They're not celebrated. They're just fighters. They're born to do it, and they do it all their lives.
And they're warriors. And Salido has to show that he still has enough in the tank to compete with the top guys in this division.
Well, this is Mickey Roman to the core. He pulls Salido to the ropes with his shoulders, and then he starts hammering him to the body. Miguel, Mickey Roman. So Roman goes forward, takes a couple punches, and gets Salido back where he wants him, near the ropes.
Roman insists that he hasn't had the kind of support, the nutrition, all those things that the elite fighters have had, so it puts him at a disadvantage. He believes he has that now. He's fighting like it right now.
And Andre, you mentioned the slow start for Salido. That's one of his identifiers, more or less known for that. You look at all of his big fights, virtually always is given away the first 2 rounds, or not given away, had them taken away. It takes him a little while to warm up. It's a truism of guys who fight as long as Salido has and have this many hard fights, that one of these nights he's going to show up and have nothing. It hasn't happened yet.
Big right hand from Salido that just hurt Roman. Let's see if Salido follows up.
Roman was badly hurt by that right hand by Salido. His legs still aren't right.
Yeah, he's still hurt.
So once again, Salido hadn't shown up with nothing. Not yet.
Given the standards of the Hall of Fame, which are not as high as the standards of like the football or baseball or basketball Hall of Fame, you would think Hernandez has enough to get it eventually. Roman, who started this fight like a house on fire, it's not that he's being out tough. They're both very tough guys. But Salido's greater technique makes him the tougher guy here, because his shots are landing.
Roman is not throwing at this point. Andre, do you think he's still hurt from that right hand?
I think he's still buzzed. I think Roman is still trying to gather himself. And Salido, the wily veteran that he is, he's not rushing his offense, and he's placing some beautiful shots to test the chin of Roman to see exactly how hurt he still is.
He may be 2 left hooks to the body and 1 more right hand away from getting Roman out of there if he can select and land the right shots.
Oh, right
Good
hand.
hard body shot by Salido. Tries to come back upstairs with the right hand. Roman stepping in, short jab, right hand up top. That one hurts Salido. Left hook to the body. Hard shots by Mickey Roman as he pins Salido against the ropes. Now Salido tries to fight his way off the ropes, landing a right hand shot. Takes a hard left hook to the body. Great action fight.
Yeah, that's a spectacular sequence we just saw from both guys, and you can hear the thumping to the body like a bass drum.
He'll deal with it temporarily, and then he'll go back to work.
That's so true, Andre. You're exactly right. Salido will be hurt 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times in the fight, but he recovers and continues to fight.
Doesn't miss a beat.
Salido grew up. 30 seconds into round number 3. Roman manages to drive Salido back into the ropes again, and here goes Mickey Roman.
The thing that's so brutal about Salido fights is he's often putting with opponents that do the same thing he does, which is they land each shot with such force. It's not just that they're brawling in there, Andre, it's that they're landing these terrific, short, hard power punches so frequently, both of them.
But what really took Salido to a high level was his battle with Francisco Vargas at StubHub Center on June 4 of 2016. It was the fight of the year. It was a fight of constant, non-stop action, rally, 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 both of them going back and forth with each other. If you saw Vargas earlier this evening in our first fight, you saw a part of what he could do. Those skills have not yet returned to the level where they were the night that he fought Orlando Salido.
He also had terrific fights earlier in his career. Juan Manuel Lopez, a couple of tough fights with him. Rocky Martinez,
Lopez was a skilled southpaw, and against a skilled southpaw, Salido's straight right hand is one of the best.
That's right, and it was a terrific fight. Rocky Martinez, they went, to war. I mentioned Cristobal Cruz.
And on and on and on.
Yep, he's fought a lot of guys.
Mickey Roman has fought dozens of guys whose names we barely know in the same kinds of fights all through his career. There you go. Power punches landed this round, both well into double figures.
Good body work from Salido.
It's that kind of a fight. You taste my left hook to the body, and then I'll tell you how good yours is.
Salido wins on toughness and all that, but also he has guile. You know, he's the more clever fighter of these two, and as a result, his punches are landing more frequently, more cleanly.
Much more crack.
Got a bell.
Harold, how do you have it through three?
Okay, Jim. This is the kind of fight that's a tough fight to score. But, you know, when I fight head-to-head, toe-to-toe, Orlando Salido is almost unbeatable. He lands that hard right hand. I got it 3-0, 30-27 Orlando Salido, because I think that right hand of Salido's is doing more damage than the right hand of Mickey Roman's. But it's a very close, very tough fight. 3-0 Orlando Salido.
Winning close, tough rounds, eventually taking over and winning the fight ultimately, maybe by stoppage. And so far it's playing out the way it was anticipated.
Right hands from Salido.
Yeah, he landed a couple of solid shots, similar to the ones that he landed in round one. Right hand for Roman. Salido fires back with combination. Down goes Salido. 11th time he's been knocked down in the last 9 fights.
You okay? Just start again.
So the obligatory early knockdown of Salido takes place in round 4. And now Roman comes on to try to capitalize on having hurt the old man.
This is Roman's whole career right here, guys. Can he finally get over the hump against a guy who fights through this moment?
Overextending himself.
Roman had a momentary urge there, it appeared, to lift Salido up and turn him upside down. But he took his hands off of him. They went back to firing away.
And right there, I think Salido's back. I think his head is clear.
He has extraordinary recuperative powers.
And it doesn't seem to add up, really. But
that one was well placed and well timed.
Yeah, it's where you get hit. But he really didn't have his legs. I mean, they were not good, and he got up and won the rest of the round.
He recovered, but some of that may just be age. He's been in a lot of wars. He's got a lot of miles on him.
Well, you know, when a guy's been knocked down 10 times in 8 fights coming in, now make it 11 knockdowns in the last 9 fights, you've got to expect at some point you're going to see him on the canvas.
Salido's eyes, his left eye is starting to really swell. Left side of his face, his cheekbone.
Well, it was Roman who appeared to me to be swelling in the cheekbone at the end of the last round. I think both of them are beginning to show the damage from the hard fight, and that's to be expected.
He doesn't have normal tough fights. Like, this is an extraordinarily tough action fight. It's par for the course for him, but it's not normal.
You can see both guys starting to bust up from the inside out because of the body shots, the short uppercuts, the short hooks. Both guys are inflicting a lot of damage on the other one right now.
Which is exactly what we expected, which is exactly what we told you, the audience, you would see. A firefight of the highest order.
This round in particular is such good back and forth inside offense.
Let him go.
And just as Salido hurt Roman in the first round, Roman knocked Salido down in the last round, they're both constantly looking for that moment. That sometimes indiscernible moment when you've gotten the other guy in trouble in a fight like this. And you have to be able to perceive it and realize, okay, that's slightly different than what happened when I hit him the last time. Sometimes the moment can pass without you really knowing.
Good work from both men right now.
This is extraordinary.
Amazing.
Savage body work.
One of the things that makes Salido such a great action fighter, maybe the premier action fighter at the moment, oh, that's a big right hand he landed, is that he is vulnerable. He shows vulnerability, the kind that had you never seen him fight before, you'd think, well, he's not going to win tonight. And yet he battles back and somehow pulls it out off him.
And believe it or not, he has a game plan.
Salido is a real drama fighter.
And at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter to you whether he won or he lost, but sometimes it's hard to remember. I love to go into a boxing discussion with a bunch of people and say, hey, tell me, who won the first Gaddy Ward fight. And so many times people get it wrong. Like, how could anybody remember?
Won or lost, you don't remember.
Because the fights
It doesn't matter. There's no loser in a fight like that.
The fights are so entertaining that it's almost it doesn't even matter, like you just mentioned, Jim.
They pay a high price.
And this may not even
Salido,
be
guys.
your favorite style of fighting, but at the very least, you have to respect both of these guys for the way they put it all on the line.
You know, we talk Salido's crafty. He's also a dirty fighter. Salido hits you low as a point of his strategy. It's a tactic he employs. And he hit Roman low a couple times in this round one with a really effective right hand. And it's helped him in this round. He knows how to do it and get away with it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure any referee is competent to keep up with everything that Orlando Salido is capable of doing in the ring. And perhaps the only saving grace is that dirty fighters respect other dirty fighters.
You know, Jim, Mickey Roman gets an extra point for the knockdown in round 4. So that's keeping the fight very, very close. I mean, this fight is about as close as you can get.
But you can look at the fighter and see they're not as passionate about what they're doing. And it makes the fight less good. You know, when you see the passion from Roman, you see how extraordinarily emotional it gets between these two guys.
Yeah, and both fighters have to have these wins. We talked about the fans appreciating a good fight like this and maybe not worrying about who the victor is, but both guys really need a victory if they're going to move on to the next stage, because Salido's trying to get another title shot and Roman is trying to get another title shot, and they both have to win tonight in order for that to happen.
Well, the fact that Salido reportedly turned down a $720,000 offer to fight Lomachenko in a rematch. And when we asked him, what would it take? Would $1 million get you to do it? And he said, well, maybe. I think that, if Vasily Lomachenko is genuinely thinking of leaving the 130-pound weight class, the one thing that might lure him to stay would be the opportunity to get revenge against Orlando Salido.
It was Lomachenko's second pro fight, all that. So he does have that win, and for that reason, it would be an interesting rematch. Roman is showing such urgency with the way he's fighting.
Well, this is the fight of Roman's life. I mean, as Andre said it perfectly earlier, this is the Super Bowl for Roman. If he could beat a guy like Salido, that makes his career. He goes back to Juarez and says, I beat Orlando Salido.
And if Salido loses to a guy like Roman, maybe it indicates that he's a half-court low.
Just maybe.
But we've thought that before. What a war. They have landed 300 punches between them, and most of them are full-on power shots. And they've still got 3 rounds to go.
Hold on.
What a solid left hook to the body by Roman. So Salido comes back with 3. Okay, I've got a left hook to the body too. Another hard left hook to the body by Roman. Fighting with a real sense of urgency here in round number 8. Let's see if Salido can match the urgency at age 37.
Salido,
his 22nd year of prize fighting.
So tough, guys. I mean, you're exactly right, Jim. How does he come back and respond every time in every fight from this kind of assault?
Because he's Orlando Salido, that's why.
He's being assaulted here, and he's given as good as he's taken.
All he knows, Max, is to respond and to answer. Both sides of his body is red from the body shots of Roman, and he's answering right back.
The Vargas fight was tremendous. It was fight of the year. There's something about this fight.
Down goes Salido, second time in the fight. That's a huge moment for Mickey Roman, and he pumps his fist for the crowd.
This time,
All right, let's go.
Está bien, sí. Está bien, sí. Here we
Roman
go.
is fighting with the urgency of a guy who sees his whole career in front of him. He said, I've had a sad career, and this could turn it all around for him.
no, Max, his career is hanging in the balance. He's 0-2 in world title fights. He doesn't know when he's going to get another opportunity like this. He has to seize the moment right now.
If you could see the face of Mickey Roman at this moment.
This was different even than the Vargas fight, guys, because Roman is a guy who's not trying to go to the scorecards. He's not content with being in a great fight. He's putting it all on the line to win right now.
Salido's hurt. He's throwing back, but he doesn't have a lot on those punches. and that's because he was hurt badly by those body shots and that headshot that put him down.
These are arm punches from Salido, and he's trying to act his way through. He's trying to make Roman think that he's still there, and now he's rallying back to try to give him one last statement before Roman goes to the corner, having won the round, but having tasted Salido's retaliation at the end. And there's the Salido family.
Typical Orlando.
Used to getting almost all the way there, but then fading toward the end, and he's not fighting like that tonight.
Mickey Roman, who when his older brother was shot dead in a gang incident in Juarez, back when he was a teenager, knew which person had shot his brother, didn't tell police because he trusted karma to take care of it, and a few years later, that guy died in prison. Mickey Roman, who is willing to wait for satisfaction after a life of hardship and frustration, and may finally get it tonight.
Well, Salido's still not out of this fight. He's landed some hard punches again in this round, and he came on at the end of the last one.
10-round contest.
And he's getting a spirited effort between rounds from trainer Rudy Hernandez, for whom it's an equally big night. A chance to make a mark as a trainer after all these years as a cut man and a chief second and a guy in the gym.
I think he hurt Salido again right there. He was a little off balance, but I think he hurt him with that short left uppercut.
He said, well, he was in the corner that beat me. He must know something.
That's a good point.
Down goes Salido again.
Salido just
Robert
quit.
Byrd is going to stop the fight, and Mickey Roman has a career-making win.
Here we see Salido paw with the left jab and comes around the gloves of Roman with a beautiful overhand right hand that badly hurts Roman, and that hurt him for the duration of that round. Here we see an uppercut from Salido and a beautifully timed overhand right from Roman that buzzed Salido.
Relax, just close up the guard a bit.
Here we see a good exchange from both fighters, two-fisted attack, a right and a left, and a grazing right hand from Roman that hits the chin of Salido. In the heat of battle, we see Salido land a big right hand. Those kind of punches have been landing for both fighters. All beautiful body shot from Roman, followed up with a headshot, missed an uppercut, landed a left and a right hand and another left, missed a right, but put Salido down, and that time he hurt Salido. Here we see it again, a left, a right, a left. Salido was badly hurt.
This was a heart-pounding fight from start to finish, and ultimately here's how Roman finished it.
Just beautiful work to the body, to the head. Salido goes down, and Roman just beat the fight out of Salido. That's the best way you can put it. I think Max put it as best as you possibly can. Salido has a lot of wars under his belt. I know he had a new training regime for this fight, but off camera I told Max that Salido just looks tired. If you look in his face before the fight and the fighter meeting, he looks like a fighter who's been through more wars than you can count, and tonight